Once again, we are in race week, with the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix taking place at the Imola circuit in Italy. Several updates to the cars are promised, along with confirming whether some improvements have indeed had an effect on a more traditional circuit. After all, in the last race at the Miami Street Circuit, McLaren proved to be a very strong contender. For this race at Imola, Ferrari also brings a significant update, while Red Bull complements the improvements introduced at the Japanese GP. So, what can we expect from all this? Ferrari and McLaren may finally challenge Red Bull. This weekend will be decisive in determining what will happen for the rest of the season. The top teams are introducing updates that should be maintained at least until halfway through the year. Thus, a mistake could result in dropping out of the fight for higher positions on the table, while getting it right could mean competing for victories and perhaps even the 2024 title. Looking first at McLaren, we saw in the last race in Miami, especially in Lando Norris's car with all the updates, that not only did he win the race due to some factors, but he also showed significant improvement in the car's performance, solving some previous issues and standing out as the car with the best race pace, even surpassing that of Red Bull. However, it still falls behind Red Bull and Ferrari in qualifying pace. Nevertheless, since this was observed in just one race, with such unique characteristics and several unforeseen events, there is doubt about how much of McLaren's performance is really related to the updates brought to the car and how much is due to the car's adaptation to the circuit and the conditions found in Miami. In any case, Norris's car showed that its problems with top speeds and fast corners have been resolved. Additionally, tire management has improved, with the car wearing tires less and able to run with a less extreme setup on the front wings. If this whole situation is confirmed at Imola, Norris and Piastri could make a significant leap and enter the fight for podiums and perhaps victories more consistently. However, for that to happen, they will have to compete with another updated car, Ferrari's, which will bring to the track its first major package of updates for this year, already tested at the FERRARI circuit last week. There were several inspirations from the current Red Bull car's design, as well as some unique ideas that have been refined. Within the team, expectations are very high to see this car at Imola, as the data collected for this update is very promising and indicates that everything being simulated and tested in the wind tunnel matches what they feel on the track. The main objectives of this Ferrari update are to improve performance in slower corners, which currently is not one of the car's strengths, and to take advantage of this sequence of races with more twisty and challenging circuits to test this entire new package. The engineers believe that if all goes well, they will be at the same level or very close to Red Bull's level, at least in some races going forward. However, it's difficult to say whether Ferrari or McLaren will reach or approach Red Bull. Red Bull itself also has an update package prepared for Imola, and the team's expectations are also high for the new parts, and to understand where they will stand going forward, whether they can stay ahead of the trailing teams or if things will be more balanced, and they will have to compete more closely with Ferrari and McLaren for the rest of the championship. Probably, the most realistic scenario will be to see Ferrari and McLaren competing against each other to establish themselves as the second force this season, with Red Bull probably still slightly ahead, especially in the case of Max Verstappen, who has been able to extract very good performance from his car. Imola will serve to dispel all these doubts about where the teams are after the updates and how the championship will be going forward, which, by all indications, should be more balanced, and any slip-up or problem that Red Bull has, the trailing teams can and will take advantage of and secure some victories. With all this, tell me, what are your expectations for the next race? Do you think we'll see a change in the balance of power? Can Ferrari and McLaren get closer to Red Bull? Share your thoughts in the comments.